Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second to address something that has kind of been on my mind and been part of the conversation that I've had with my students recently. Um, and it's also something I make just as someone who's experienced as far as a recommendation. And it's why I tell people you don't want to buy the Fuego dance shoes, which it's I've only been addressing it because it seems to be the most popular dance shoe all of a sudden. I got myself a pair. I know other people who have bought pairs. I see them and I'm out dancing a lot. And while I don't hate everything about the Fuego dance shoe, I would say that if you are on a dance team or you are taking dance, approaching it more seriously, like as your main hobby, or you see it as a sport and you want to have the best performance that you can, and really make sure that your equipment isn't holding you back in any way, why the Fuegos are not a good option. So let's start with my pair of Fuegos. Now these things are filthy. I've put probably, 100 dance hours on these things. So I have a really, really good understanding of what they are, what they feel like, when they are good and when they're not. So let's start with why you would want a pair of Fuegos. If you are a casual social dancer, you don't want to spend a lot of time shopping around, figuring out the right kind of shoe for your foot anatomy. You just want something that you can get it in the mail, throw it on, be confident about the sizing, and immediately go out to social dance at bars. These are okay. Now, one of the best features about this, and where a lot of other dance shoes can't compete, is that they can get wet. I have drenched these in beer on the dance floor. I have been really, really aggressive with them on concrete. So as far as like a multi-surface dance shoe, I think that these are probably one of the best options out there, period. So if you dance a lot on concrete floors, or you dance in bars where it tends to have spilled drinks and you're tired of ruining your suede, I really, really recommend these. I think these are just fine. Where these start to fall apart pretty quickly though is the way that they perform as a dance shoe, right? So what do we want from a dance shoe? Generally, based off your foot anatomy, we want there to be an expansion in the toe box, right? So it hugs the mid part of the insole of the foot just enough where your foot won't rotate inside the shoe like this. This is a bad kind of rotation. And it also supports the middle of the foot through a chuck so that you can distribute your weight really effectively. Because we know that if you're dancing well, you're applying a good technique, we spend a majority of our time right here on the ball of the foot, which is exactly where this pin cup is positioned. So we spend so much time here, we actually want something that supports the midfoot right here. So this is where the Fuego starts to fall apart, because when your shoe is inside the shoe like this, it's not built and supportive enough like a true competitive dance shoe, and you'll get slight rotations of the foot. So maybe my foot will slide slightly this way because of how much give this has here in the sidewall. I'll feel it push this way and push this way, and this sliding is eventually, I've even had it where it goes like this, where my foot will completely roll on the inside of the shoe while the sole stays flat. So to me, that's not enough support. I'm a powerful dancer, I like to think. I'm elite too, so I spend a lot of my time being grounded and applying a lot of force. And this kind of sliding around, slight external rotation of the foot, I just don't find as supportive or comfortable or effective. So that's not good. You can roll your ankle, you can get hurt. So the other place where this falls apart too is where this wants you to be on your foot. So it's designed as a sneaker, and as a sneaker as such, this piece of rubber that goes from the front edge all the way to the heel, it's the same stiffness, it's the same material, and it has no point of flexion. So it doesn't matter if I flex it on two ends and it goes to the toe box, I can flex the heel, I can flex just the toe back. It's not precise about where it puts you on your foot. So that also is really going to hold you back, particularly follows. If you're a follow and you're turning a lot, this is not a good situation for you to be in. You're going to feel heavy in your foot. You're going to be on the wrong part of your foot more of the time. And it's just not going to lend itself well to accentuating, it's particularly Latin dancing, but cha-cha and salsa is what I'm talking about mostly here. Although for zouk, again, not good floor feel. So that's one of the things, that's the last thing I want to talk about is the feel of the floor. So when I think about a dance shoe, I want to feel as much of the floor underneath my foot as possible. I don't want there to be like this layer of material between my foot and the floor because it doesn't lend itself well to balance or corrections or turns or precise foot movement. So these are the numbest shoes you can buy. These are very comfortable, but we don't want comfort out of a dance shoe. We want support and to be positioned in the right part of our foot. So the floor feel on these is like less than zero. I helped this a little bit by taking out the gooey insole they came with and I put in an aggressive running shoe insole. That tended to be okay, but the floor feel is just really, really bad. So I just don't think that these are a good option. Just a quick way to juxtapose, here is a real true competitive Latin dance shoe with a 1/2-inch heel. So you'll notice that when I flex this, it has a ton of flexion here in the toe box, but then there's a piece of wood, sometimes it's cork, sometimes it has a metal chuck, called a chuck. And that chuck runs into the back part of the heel and right here into the front of the toe box. So what this does is when you're on your ball of your foot, you get this upward angle support all the way through the heel. So it kind of puts you in the right position to dance just organically through the design of the shoe. Not only that, it also hugs the shoe, the toe box of the foot way more aggressively. It's actually very uncomfortable for the first few months. And then over time they break out and it gets a little better. But your dance shoes should hurt the first 15 hours you put into them. They should not be comfortable at all. You don't buy them comfortable and break them in, then they're too big. You buy them short and then you break them in nice. So the suede is also like, there's nothing better in my opinion than this design for support, precision, floor feel, turns. And I feel like it gets a bad rap for longevity. I mean, if you take care of your suede, if you abrase it in the right way, make sure it doesn't get wet. If it does get wet, you treat it immediately. You can get a lot of longevity out of a shoe like this. You just have to know what you're doing and take care of it. So I just want to address that because I said that in one of our team practices the other day. I was like, don't buy Fuego if you're serious about this team, and it just doesn't have the right look. And people messaged me and were like, what do you mean? I thought those were okay. So I just wanted to address that. If you have any questions, just message me.